Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Crystal, and today I wanted to talk about learning your natural hair. I know it can be intimidating sometimes, especially if you haven't done it and you haven't figured it out. I know it can seem a little bit hard, but here are some things that I wanted to share. 3 easy tips, 3 easy steps that you can do that will make your hair journey, your hair routine, whatever you're on, so much easier, because I've been there. I remember the first time I cut all my relaxer off. It was actually right after high school. I was completely done with the beauty shop. Like, my hair was relaxed and it was just always breaking off, like right here, like no matter what. No matter what I did. I went to the beauty shop. I think we went every single week, and my hair was just always stopped right here. But like everybody else's hair was flourishing. So I don't know if it was just too harsh a relaxer. I personally think that just relaxers, just me and relaxers, my hair, it just doesn't match. As soon as I got out of high school, I was like, I'm not going to the beauty shop anymore. I am an adult, and so I just didn't go. And I went ahead and I shaved the back of my head because that was the most breakage, like the kitchen area. And I just chopped a little bit like up here, but then like as my hair grew out, I kind of just cut off all the other relaxer pieces. And when I say it was a journey because back then there wasn't a lot of natural hair tutorials or information like there is now. And so when I started my natural hair journey, it was like when Kinky Curly was out, when it was popular, but it wasn't in stores yet. Like, you could only get it online. I saw people with all sorts of natural hair, to the coarsest of the coarse, to the curliest of the curly, to in between. Like, I was just watching and absorbing everything. And I want to show you a lot of things that I learned. So the first thing I want you to know is that get the hair typing system out of your mind. It honestly, it doesn't matter as much as you think it is. And I see a lot of people arguing on making discourses about what's 4C, what's 4A, what's 4B, what's 3C. And then, you know, everybody has their own interpretation of what their hair type is. And honestly, I'm here to tell you, it does not matter as much as you think it is. The only thing that it really shows, or it's really good at to know, is when you're styling your hair, how your hair is going to turn out depending on your curl pattern. It's just, you just got to know the code to your hair, and you'll be surprised. And I was even surprised, which is what I'm going to tell you. You will be surprised of the products, the type of products that you think that you should be using based on your hair type, that's actually keeping your hair more matted, hard to work with, unmanageable, not easy to comb through, always frizzy, always dry, is because you're not using the right type of product. So back when I was learning about natural hair, a lot of the times people would always say, because this was like when people were doing like their own concoctions, like it was like basic, like shea butter, put shea butter throughout your hair, coconut oil. Some lady, they were introducing like apple cider vinegar rinses. I remember like people were more focused on the health of your hair and how to make it soft, how to detangle it, easier to detangle. It was more of that and less about like the style back then. And so when the hair typing system came out, it wasn't as big of a deal as it is now. It more helped with the type of products. So like, for instance, it's like, oh, if you have type 4 hair, the more your A, B, or C, you need thicker products, heavier products. It's gonna work best for your hair. And if you're in like the, I don't know, the 3, 1, 2, and the 2A and 2B and the 1A and all that stuff, you're gonna be best with like lighter products. And to an extent, that is true. However, when it comes to, and I'm specifically talking about kinky hair, type 4 hair, afro textured hair, from the 3 to the 4, it's different. And what I've learned through trial and error is that just because you have coarser hair doesn't necessarily mean you need heavier products. First thing you need to know is your hair porosity. Now, if you're a bit confused about hair porosity, I still don't really understand it because there's conflicting information on what is what. From my understanding, low porosity is when it's hard for your hair to get moisturized, but once it gets moisturized, it's like locked in. And when I say hard to get moisturized, I don't mean it can't get moisturized, it just takes a little bit longer. And then high porosity is when your hair is easily moisturized, but it dries out really, really fast. That's what I thought, but I keep hearing conflicting information, reading conflicting information. So to make it easier to understand, like for me, for an example, I was using heavy products because that's what all the natural girls were using. And this is how you know when you don't need to be using heavy products just because you have type 4 hair. And I know that hair porosity can change, I guess, depending on like your hair damage or cuticles and stuff like that, but just so that you know where to start and what's going to be best for you, and as your hair changes you can adjust as needed. But just for like the base, so that way it's easier to understand, I would start with conditioner. If you have conditioner in your hair, I wouldn't even start with like how long it takes for your hair to get wet. I can't see when I'm in the shower how long it's taking for my hair to get wet. It feels wet to me, so I don't know. But what I do know is that when I put conditioner in my hair, if it's a really thick, like really thick conditioner, then it's going to just sit on top of my hair and it's not really going to penetrate. Even if I put a plastic bag over it, it's not going to penetrate to my hair, so it's just going to sit on top of my head, and then when I try to detangle it, it's going to be a little bit harder. So I had to learn that I actually need a lighter conditioner to actually penetrate through my hair and to be able to easily detangle it. And when I switched the conditioner, it was so much easier. My favorite deep conditioner to use is It's a 10. That's like an emergency conditioner. That's when like my hair is super dry, or if I straightened it and just haven't had it natural for a while, that's when I use that to put moisture in. But I use My Black is Beautiful, the honey line for the shampoo and conditioner. Those are like my two when I want to just wear my hair natural, not when I want to wear my hair straight. I use something different for straightening, but that's not important. So yeah, that's what I use. And you would also, throughout this process, you're going to learn that your hair is going to like certain products. For me, for instance, I noticed that anything with honey in it, my hair loves and soaks it up, and it moisturizes my hair very, very well, as opposed to something that has a lot of shea butter high up in there. My Black is Beautiful, I think it does have a little bit of shea butter, but it's like not like the main ingredient. And there's different concoctions because, ingredients, combine and do different things when they're combined together. But I noticed that shea butter, and I had stayed away for everything with shea butter because it was just too heavy. Not too heavy to the point where it weighed my hair down. It just wouldn't penetrate through my hair. It would just sit on top of my hair. And so I was thinking that shea butter was fine, just raking through my hair, because that's what all the girls were doing. And I was wondering why my hair looked stringy, and then something just wasn't right. It was a little bit of cast. I was thinking that's how it was supposed to be, because that's what I was seeing everybody else do. That hair looked a little similar to mine. Now, when it comes to moisturizers, it's kind of the same thing. I stay away from thick moisturizers. I need a thin moisturizer. Right now I already found like my stable products. This is why I say like right now, but I use the Camille Rose Honey Leave-In Conditioner, and it just gets the job done. It moisturizes my hair so well. And how you know that your conditioner, when you're in the shower, it works really well, is that when you have the conditioner sit on your hair, before you put more water on it to like rinse it out and like detangle, if you can detangle your hair easily, then you have the right conditioner. At this point, don't worry about your hair type. Just figure out what type of products, as far as lightweight products versus heavier products. That's what you want to focus on at first, what your hair likes. So if your hair likes thicker leave-in conditioners, use that. If your hair likes thinner leave-in conditioners, use that. When I say like it should feel soft. It should not sit on top of your hair, and once it dries, your hair should not feel super dry. It should be feeling dry, but like soft, not dry and crispy. And then you also want to go into the styler. The same thing. Does your hair do better with thinner stylers, or does it do better with thicker stylers? For me, my hair needs a thicker styler in order for my hair to, come out decent. And when I say decent, I just mean like it doesn't come out frizzy. It looks like I've actually put product in my hair. It looks soft. It's not, matted. It doesn't tangle as easy, because my hair tangles really quickly. So, you can feel when your hair is just dry. It's just dry. Two things that I forgot to mention. One is styling products, and the other one has to do with how you style your hair. So I know majority of the time, if you have type 4 hair, they say soak your hair in water, then put your styler on, and that will give you like the most definition and the less frizz. But honestly, that don't work for me. Personally, I feel like, it's not even personally, it is what it is. When I do that, my hair is just dripping. The product is dripping off of my hair, and it's just dripping all day. It never gets dry, and it's just a hot mess. So what I did was start putting my styler, even if it says in soaking wet hair, I don't do that. I will go ahead and make sure my hair is either damp or slightly damp. More slightly damp, because I feel like, because my hair takes a long time to soak in product, if I already have water in it, there's no more room for anything else to penetrate through my hair. So that's why it doesn't turn out the way that it probably should. So if you're having a hard time with that, or if you want to try it, try putting your stylers on like damp or slightly damp hair, and see how much better your hair will turn out when it comes to styling, because I'm telling you, it made the hugest difference. Another thing that I want to say is styling products. So if you're gonna wear your hair like in a wash and go, or kind of like I have, like in a ponytail, whatever, and you just kind of just want your hair to be free, a lot of time people will use like a comb or a brush to run the product through their hair after they've done detangling and stuff. Don't do that if your hair does not do well to that. It frizzes out my hair. And say that I've put some cream or whatever styling product through my hair, and I go take a brush or a comb to like rake it through to make sure it's evenly distributed, my hair will frizz. It will frizz as if I didn't do anything. So what I do is I just use my fingers, and I just rake it through, and that will get my hair defined. If I want it more of a fluffy look, like I don't want it really too defined, if I'm not like in the mood for that day, instead of using a brush or a comb or whatever, I will go ahead and just use my fingers. So instead of doing like that, I'll do like this, kind of like pulling my hair apart. When it's kind of like 90% dry, I'll go ahead and like spray a little bit of water, just a little bit, to where it gets damp again, and I'll start picking my hair like this. That might work better for you if you're feeling like styling tools and everything, like you're putting your stylers in your hair and it still looks frizzy. Try not to use styling tools to style your hair. Just use your fingers. Like I don't even use a brush or anything outside of when I'm conditioning my hair and I need to detangle it. And when I'm about to put my leave-in in, I'll detangle my hair, because my hair gets tangled pretty easily. So I will use I'll use a brush to detangle my hair before I put my leave-in in, and then I'll just rake my leave-in through, and then I'll rake my styler through, which is gel, and just leave it as that. So also wanted to mention that, because I feel like that's also makes a really big difference as well. So when your hair is moisturized, after it dries and gets all moisturized, you need to seal it. Some people use oils. I seal it by using my styling product. I don't use oils. I use serums. Serums have some oils in it, like argan oil. It's really good for my hair. But like heavy oils, just, I don't know what it is. It just don't work. I could put it in my hair. It does not feel moisturized. And then on top of that, it takes forever for the oil to wash out of my hair. Even if I use a clarifying shampoo, it will take a couple of washes for it to come out of my hair. And so I just avoid oils altogether because they don't do nothing but just sit on top of my hair. I use, for me, I have type 4 hair. As you can see, I use a thinner conditioner, a thinner medium thickness of a deep conditioner if I'm going to deep condition, and my stylers have to be thick. So when I was looking at people with natural hair back in the day when I was just learning about hair in general, that was a lot of what the girls on the videos were saying. Is like, just because we look like we could be hair twins doesn't mean that the products I'm using is going to work for you. Even if we look, we have the same hair type, density, whatever, you have to try it out. That's what happened, and that's why people were buying all types of hair products, and you would have stash. I used to have like bags of hair products because I was trying to figure out what worked, and this was before the time that like they had natural hair specific products. So I was still buying like stuff that you get at the beauty supply stores. You really shouldn't be putting in your hair, but you do. I was doing whatever I could do. I could get what I get. And then when Kiki Curly came out and people were using that, I waited until it was at Target because I wasn't going to buy it online. And when I bought it at Target, I used it. I really liked it. But yeah, so that's what you need to figure out first is, does your hair like lightweight products? Does your hair like heavier products? And at what stage does your hair do better with lightweight products versus heavier products? And then also, if you're someone whose hair takes a long time to absorb products, you want to use a clarifying conditioner. That's going to change the game because a lot of times you'll put products in your hair, even if it's lightweight, heavyweight, whatever your hair likes, you're going to notice that your hair feels kind of dull and like lifeless. It's just the products aren't working the way they used to. It's because you need a clarifying conditioner. I mean, a clarifying shampoo. Next thing you want to do is trim your hair. So number 2 is trim your hair. You want to trim your hair regularly, even if you don't like to straighten your hair at all. Those little dustings that people do, it doesn't really work. It don't really work. You need to at least press your hair out at least like once every 3 months. You don't even have to do it like bone straight. You can just blow dry it a little bit. Just make sure that it's really stretched so you can see your ends, because you'll be surprised, just because you don't straighten your hair or put a lot of heat to it, your hair will still split because you're doing a lot of wear and tear when you're finger detangling or when you're putting a brush or a comb, whatever you use, to it, and it does a lot of wear and tear to your hair. So for me, I remember when I had cut, big chop, I done big chop my hair like 3 times, but when I had big chop my hair the final time, I just wanted to wear, what was I wearing? I think I wore braids for a little bit because I just, my different style. And I had went to my friend at the time who was going to be like my hairstylist. She did hair, and I had split ends. And I was like, how do I have split ends? I don't do anything. I literally have my hair in braids. And then she told me, she was like, you can still get split ends even if you don't straighten your hair or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's something you really want to do. And it's just to keep your hair fresh. So like, say for instance, your hair is like down to here, right? And then you've like done your trim or whatever, and then your hair grows again, but you haven't straightened in a while, and it grows down here, but like all the way from here to here is kind of like split because you didn't really like take time to straighten your hair or straighten your hair or stretch your hair enough to where you can see the split ends. So then you're going to have to cut it. And then once you cut it, it's going to feel like it's not growing because you're going to cut it at the same length it was before. And that's because you didn't take the time to actually trim your hair. So if you would have trimmed your hair in between those 2 times, say you only do it once a year, if you would have trimmed your hair, by the time your next trim came, it would have been down here. Once you trimmed it, it would have been longer than the last time you trimmed it, if that makes sense. If you are someone who likes to straighten their hair, but don't want to do too much damage to it, because that's what happens. It's okay to straighten your hair. The only reason that your hair gets damaged from straightening is if, one, you have the temperature on too high, or you're using heat too frequently. And when I say frequently, I mean like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, or like day 1, day 3, day 6, day 8. You're just using too much heat too frequently. So if you're someone who likes to wear your hair out and you want to have it straight every once in a while, what you can do is that once you straighten your hair, after you straighten it, the second, put your oils, your sheens, your sherms, or whatever you do at your hair once you finish straightening it. Once you finish, you want to wrap it up and keep it wrapped for like 24 hours. I don't know what that does, but I don't know if like the heat, it just sets your hair. So when you take it out, it'll still be straight. And what you want to do is, this is what I do, my hair is wrapped up unless I have to go outside. If I have to go outside and go somewhere or walk my dog or something like that, I'll take my bonnet off, my bonnet off and everything, and I will walk outside with, my hair still straight. Or if I want to film a video or something like that, I will take the bonnet off and then I'll just wear my hair down and it'll still be straight. It'll be pin straight. I'll put my little serum in there that I like, and then I will, wear it out for however long. It doesn't get poofy. It doesn't, start to like have these weird bends or anything. It just stays straight. And then when I'm done doing what I'm doing, I will wrap my hair right back up so that way it can set again. And that's how I'm able to keep my hair straight for a long time. And of course, if you get bored with like the pin straight hair, you can start putting rollers in and stuff like that and like setting it that way. It's an option. I like having little curls in my hair because sometimes pin straight hair can get like really boring. The last thing that you need to understand is that no matter what product, this is where the hair typing system can come in, but honestly, it really doesn't matter. You just need to learn what your hair likes and don't like, and knowing that if your hair likes thin products or thicker products is going to be a game changer. But I do want to say, like, I know there are a ton of products that'll say, oh, frizz-free hair, oh, juicy curls, or whatever type of hair. They like advertise that. I want to say that it does not matter what product you put in your hair. It's not going to change your curl pattern. Just realize, like, if your hair doesn't have big giant ringlets, no matter what, for any other product that you use, there's not going to be one specific product that's going to have your hair big giant ringlets. You know what I mean? If your hair doesn't have a lot of texture, there's nothing, and your hair is usually like really flat, there's nothing that's going to really help you get that full texture hair. Like, it's not going to happen. So just keep that in mind. It's not your hair. Your hair is not an issue. It's just, and it's not like you're trying to find it's not that your hair is something wrong with your hair, and it's not that something's wrong with your hair. It's not that you need to try to find the right product to do certain things. It's just that it's just your hair texture. Well, I don't like the word hair texture, because to me, hair texture means the way your hair feels. So I would say your hair pattern, where it's curly, wavy, the tightness of it, the looseness of it, whatever. Just know that your pattern is not going to change no matter what product that you use. So it's more, you can do like braid outs, twist outs, you can do whatever you want to with your hair. You can straighten it, color it, dye it, permanent, whatever. But it's not going to get rid of all the frizz. Now, some things may help with frizz, like minimize frizz, depending on what you're going for, but it's really not gonna get rid of it at all. And there's nothing that's going to elongate the curls to the point to where it's going to avoid shrinkage. Like curly hair, especially type 4 hair, it just shrinks. It is what it is. You can have the longest of the long hair, it is going to shrink. It's just going to shrink. So yeah. If you have any questions, you can put it in the comments and I will try to answer it to the best of my ability. And for record, I'm not a hairstylist, so this is just my experience, my personal experience with my own hair and what I've seen on YouTube videos back in the day. So yeah, I hope that helps. So another thing that I want to mention, your hair may also like dry in different lengths. So like the back of my hair, it shrinks up more than like the middle and the front of my hair. So you kind of have to like manipulate your styles a little bit for it to look a little even. Some people are blessed with having shrinkage like the same length all the way around. That's kind of something you're going to learn as well. But other than that, once you get all those 3 steps understood and you experiment, it's going to take a lot of experimenting. So I would first focus on knowing what type of products that your hair likes, what type of ingredients that your hair likes, before you jump and buy something because it's popular. Like a brand may have a hair product that everybody is using. Say your hair likes thin products, but a brand that's really popular comes out this really popular product that has all the hype and everybody's using it, and because everyone's saying it's so good, you want to try it. And it's a thick product, but you know that your hair does not do well with thick products, and you go try it and you use it and it's not what you thought it was. It's because your hair doesn't like thick products. Some lines, you know, maybe look at that brand and see what kind of like lighter weight products that brand has, or vice versa. Is something lightweight, see if they have thicker products depending on like what you know that your hair likes, instead of just buying something because it's popular. First, you have to know what type of products that your hair likes. And I'm keep repeating that because that's the like most important part that's going to change drastically how you can care for your hair and how it can make it 1,000 times easier. So it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take a lot of trial and error, but since I made this video, hopefully it won't take you too long since you know what to look for. And yeah, I was just about to put my hair up too, but I kind of forgot about this, so I just turned on the camera real quick and just made that last point. But anyways, yes, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.